Around mid-October, India added a new group to its terror list, a group that was not recently active. It's called the Hizb ut-Tahrir, or HUT. 2 months later, it's clear why India added it to the list. Because the HUT has found fertile ground in Bangladesh. Let me introduce one of its main leaders, Naseemul Ghani. He used to be a career bureaucrat, but in the year 2000, he set up the HUT in Dhaka. Back then, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, the BNP, was in power. They did not care about radicals or Islamists because they were the same. When Sheikh Hasina came to power in 2009, she banned the HUT. Since then, their leaders have been accused of terrorism. Now, with Hasina gone, the HUT is back, and Naseemul Ghani has been appointed the Home Secretary. Let me repeat that. This is the man who founded a terror group in Dhaka. He is now Bangladesh's top bureaucrat in the Home Ministry, and he is not alone. Let me introduce another HUT leader, Mahfouz Alam. He is a member of Mohammad Yunus's cabinet. Last week, he posted this picture on social media. It shows Bangladesh annexing India's northeastern states. He said India has colonized the northeast. These are the sort of people in Yunus's team. Yet Dhaka wonders why India is worried. So tonight, let's take a closer look at this group, the HUT. What do they stand for? What is their strategy? And how will it affect India? The Hizb ut-Tahrir was established in 1953 in Jerusalem. The title means Party of Liberation. They reject ideas like secularism and democracy. Their goal is to create a global caliphate, much like the Islamic State. So how are they different from ISIS? Because on paper, the HUT rejects violence, which is frankly an absurd claim. Without violence, how do they plan to dismantle democracies? By asking nicely? The fact is that this non-violence claim is nonsense. It's a cover to escape crackdowns. The HUT has chapters and factions in 45 countries. The one in Bangladesh was set up in the year 2000. And what's their strategy? To radicalize people. A number of groups are already doing that in Bangladesh, including the Jamaat-e-Islami. But the HUT is slightly different because they have a different target audience. The Jamaat draws people from rural Bangladesh, while the HUT targets big cities. They radicalize college students and professionals. How? Apparently, storytelling is a big tool. They talk about Muslims being massacred around the world, about rising Islamophobia, and about so-called evil Western ideas. The strategy is called shock, demolish, and rebuild. Shock them with claims of massacre, demolish their belief in ideas like democracy, and rebuild using Islamist ideology. This is the HUT playbook in a nutshell. And from the looks of it, it is working. In October, Bangladeshi students took out massive rallies. They were carrying flags of the Islamic State. Back then, Bangladeshi officials blamed the HUT for this. They also arrested 10 people linked to the march. But now that same HUT is being rewarded. So how should India see this development? Well, there is an HUT charter in India as well, and New Delhi is quite worried about it. Yesterday, Indian officials charged 2 men from Tamil Nadu. Both of them are members of the same group, the HUT. They were trying to recruit students to their cause. Last month, India's Home Ministry organized a key counter-terrorism meet. All the intelligence and security agencies were present, and one of the issues they discussed was the HUT. So clearly, India is concerned. There will be 2 main worries for New Delhi. The first is instability in the northeast. These radicals could tie up with separatists in India, and they will likely get a free pass from Dhaka. After all, the Home Secretary is one of their own. And second, spillover of radicalism. The HUT can pump money and resources into radicalizing Indian youth. The case in Tamil Nadu is a clear example, so India needs to prepare itself. Asking Yunus to help is pointless. Forget cracking down on radicals. He's appointing them to run the government. So India's best bet is to be vigilant, to tighten border security, and to ramp up intelligence operations. Bangladesh is playing with fire by courting the HUT. It may be too late to help them, but it's not too late for India.